Wrestling today. Are we recording already? Do we have to do an intro, right, Matt? Matt put me in the lead on this one. I can't do an intro.
Welcome to Learning the Ropes. My name is Matt.
My name's Andrew.
Hi, it's Tyler.
Tyler, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I ask this question of you pretty often. What do you know about the Ultimate Warrior?
Oh, I've forgotten everything about him since the last time I was asked this question, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I was gonna say, I think I've asked this question before. This one specifically. I always ask you what you know about somebody.
Wait, is this like the show that was on like the Discovery Channel or whatever? Where they would be like IRA versus Al Qaeda or something like that, and then have
that's
them fight.
Deadliest Warrior.
Oh.
I remember that. That was not on Discovery Channel. That was on Spike TV.
Oh my god.
And
Truly.
I loved that show.
Yes, who didn't love that show? So he isn't on this show.
Yeah, he was not on this show.
Very sad.
On that show. He was also not on the show that's about like running through an obstacle course.
That's American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah. He's
okay.
the Ultimate Warrior. And he was... You know how like in the 80s everybody was on a lot of cocaine?
Yeah.
He's that.
Oh.
He's that. Specifically, he was... If Vince McMahon did like an 80s level of cocaine and then had to think about what Hulk Hogan would be like in the 90s.
Did it make him more talented or less talented?
I think it made him more talented. I would argue.
Yeah, that's how the arc tends to go with the coke in the 80s. It made you more talented.
Somehow, something was in it.
And then you crashed and then had a very tragic, 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Ultimate Warrior, I will not spoil any more about the Ultimate Warrior than that. I want you to experience him. What we're covering today, WrestleMania 6, Toronto, Canada. We're going up to the Great White North for this WrestleMania. The SkyDome in Toronto plays host to one of the major matches of wrestling history, especially for like the late 80s, early 90s.
So he becomes the Intercontinental Champion
at
SummerSlam
1988, the Ultimate Warrior.
The first SummerSlam. He beats Honky Tonk Man, who's
Honky Tonk Man.
He's a fat Elvis impersonator. So an Elvis impersonator.
Hang on, you guys have said... why am I watching that match? Oh my god.
Because that match is not very long.
Oh, okay.
The Intercontinental Championship, last time we kind of touched on it, was Macho Man versus Steamboat. Steamboat wins the Intercontinental Championship. Honky Tonk Man beats Steamboat for it, then holds the Intercontinental Championship for 454 days.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. Currently unbroken, the longest Intercontinental longest single Intercontinental Championship reign by any wrestler.
The Ultimate Warrior ends it, and then they strap the fucking rockets on Warrior, and he's just pushed as the next Hulk Hogan. Like, Hogan was the 80s, we're going into the 90s, and Ultimate Warrior was supposed to be like the big star of the 90s. They actually first come face to face, Hogan and Warrior, at the Royal Rumble in 1990, where they have like a brief interaction before they both lose that match.
They have an interaction. The crowd goes kind of nuts for it. And then this leads to them continuing. They spend a bunch of time saving each other from a guy called Earthquake, who is just a big guy, and that led to Hulk Hogan giving the Warrior what they called the Ultimate Challenge, the Power of the Warrior versus Hulkamania, WrestleMania 6, the SkyDome in Toronto, and President of the World Wrestling Federation Jack Tunney. He later makes it a battle of the belts, both belts on the line, winner takes all, the Intercontinental Championship and the World Wrestling Federation Championship, both on the line.
Yeah, because Hogan is world champion at this point again.
Yeah,
When in doubt, Hogan is world champion again.
And in doubt.
in the like 80s in the WWF, if you weren't sure who was world champion at the time, it was Hulk Hogan. Or at least that's the safest guess. Also, as I guess a last spoiler before we actually go to watch the match, just because I thought of it, Matt said that the Warrior beating Honky Tonk Man and ending his 454-day historic reign as Intercontinental Champion. He said it wasn't a long match, and you're very quickly going to understand why when we get to watching this match. And also, I guess the gimmick of the Honky Tonk Man's reign being that long was because they wanted people to want it to end. They went to the point where people were really tired of Elvis being the Intercontinental Champion. Anyway, WrestleMania 6, the stage is set.
Let's watch the match.
Hulk Hogan versus a mountain of cocaine. Let's watch the match.
And we're back.
We're back for the first time.
We are back from the match.
Tyler, what did you think?
You know, I liked it actually. I like the Ultimate Warrior's whole gimmick of just being on speed, basically. He couldn't just make him run from the fucking parking lot, basically, in that ring. He's like a better Hulk Hogan. I don't know. He's more fun. He's insane. Though I still was very much a Hogan match still, which I'm not always a fan of because I don't like Hogan that much. Yeah. Thoughts are still developing.
What I found interesting about this matchup, it's two people who literally have the same shtick.
Yeah, but I feel like one does it better, and I think it's because I just don't like Hogan, maybe.
But like they both do the you get beaten down by the heel and then get put in a rest hold for ages and then come out and do their little spot.
That's a good
Here Hogan puts Warrior in a rear chin lock, the most technically proficient rear chin lock I think any of us have ever seen.
Would absolutely work on the streets.
Not an inch of breathing room for the Ultimate Warrior in that hold. Absolutely, the pressure was on the whole time.
And then we see Warrior lock Hogan in the greatest bear hug.
Nothing Hogan could do, dude. He tried to get his hands in there.
It was airtight. Was airtight, like a vacuum seal.
My opinion has always been with Warrior Hogan with this match. It's just like in WWE 2K22, which I have played and neither of you have played.
Yeah, this is good. Audience, have you played this game?
So they have a GM mode, and like each wrestler's like assigned like a specific like trait where it's like you're a brawler, you're a fighter, you're a like that, and like it's like a rock paper scissors kind of deal when you're booking in the GM mode, and then like this just feels like you took like two people that are exactly the same and were like, here you go.
Yeah, this
is like in Pokemon when you're like
two rock types.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna go face Brock. Here's Geodude versus Honest.
Yeah.
Maybe the Pokemon analogy is a little better.
Maybe it's it's two guys throwing rock over and over again. And I kind of weirdly like watching it again for the show. I kind of like it more than I used to, I think. I had more fun with it. Man, it's probably definitely partially from like, riffing on it with you guys.
I think watching this with Tyler made me enjoy this match more than I did before.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Cause it was a good time, and it was actually like I could feel the larger than lifeness of it, which like the only other match for the show that we've watched so far that felt that way was Hogan and Andre, and that was worse than this, I would argue.
I could feel the Ultimate Warrior's like energy coming through my screen because that man vibrated so much. It was insane.
Yeah,
I could feel it.
Also, I guess
that might be the 5G, Tyler. That might be the 5G.
Oh, I do have the vaccine. I do. I am vaccinated. That's a good point.
I have just something to I want to address with the audience. I want to make sure that it's known that I cannot confirm or deny. I have no actual knowledge of whether or not the Ultimate Warrior was on drugs. I do have a hunch. That's it. I don't know if I felt like I implied that he definitely was on drugs. He definitely was. But
everyone, hey, there was pee clean in the room. That's the important part.
There was clean piss. 100%.
I don't know whose it was, but it's fine. It was clean. We're using jokes.
We tested it, and the piss came back clean.
Yes.
Urine samples were obtained.
My man made Hulk Hogan look small.
He really
He
does.
did. He made Hogan look natty.
Yeah, he made him look natty.
Yeah, like Warrior's shorter, but he's so much more like defined. He's so much more cut than Hulk Hogan.
He made Hogan look like he had a fucking dad bod.
Dude, I wonder what their like bench press stats were at the time. Like, how much do you think Hogan was benching?
Probably like 365. I bet.
Yeah, his chest is like the biggest part of him.
Not those
pythons.
26-inch pythons or whatever.
However many inches his pythons were.
Those 72-inch pythons.
Yeah. I think they actually did like a decent job of like, it's like they kind of mesh well for being the same guy. Like, and so the story kind of naturally comes out of like their, they start with all the like shoving and the test of strength. And it's going like back and forth. And I think commentary does a really good job selling that too a lot of the time. Jesse Ventura still a legend.
Wanted people to die.
Yeah.
He wants
was
to go
ready
for the
violence.
Yes, respectable.
And by the way, sad fact that Matt made me aware of during the match. This may or may not be. I haven't confirmed because I don't know who calls the upcoming matches that we have on the schedule. But this was the last WrestleMania match that Jesse Ventura commentated.
Oh, tragic!
Before he gets fired in August for
pro unionization.
Yeah, for unionizing, for wanting to start a union.
And
Jesse Ventura was based.
May or may not have been because of Hulk Hogan that he got fired.
Yeah, it may or may not. Allegedly, it was Hulk Hogan who told Vince that Jesse Ventura wanted to start a union, which led to Jesse Ventura's firing.
Allegedly, very allegedly.
I have to reach out to friend of the show, Vince McMahon, to try and confirm that story. It's all hearsay as of right now.
By the way, I have an update on some numbers for y'all.
Yeah?
This is from WWF Magazine.
Is this Hulk Hogan's bench press stat?
Hulk Hogan bench presses 550 pounds.
That sounds like it could be. I mean, I believe it if you see how that sounds like a bit of a stretch. I don't know.
It's like, to me, it's the like same amount of like circus level. Like he's billed at for this match 303 pounds.
That's under twice body weight, I guess.
Yeah,
that's believable.
For reference, John Cena's actual record, because he documents like his workouts a lot, is 488.
So you know what though, I might believe it. People benched a lot back in the day. People benched more in the 80s than they do now.
John Cena definitely looks like he should be able to bench more than Hulk Hogan.
But also, he's not like a powerlifter, right?
I mean, he was.
Yeah, he was before he started wrestling. He was like a powerlifter / like he wanted to be a bodybuilder before he started wrestling.
How heavy though is John Cena? John Cena weight. This is important for me.
242? I think they bill him at?
Yeah, he's like 250. That's about right, because that extra like supposed 50 pounds might
carry. But yeah. I think of it like Hulk Hogan's build weight, where I'm like, I don't think he actually weighed 303.
Yeah, if he did, 550
but it's like
is believable.
It's in that range of like just stretch enough that you're like, he's probably close, and they up it a little bit because it's like a circus act, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to be this legendary figure.
For context, though, Mark Henry, actually, at one point,
man.
the world's strongest man, now considered like the second strongest man like ever. Also, sexual chocolate in WWF.
Yeah, which we'll get to sexual chocolate eventually.
His competition official bench was 525.
No,
okay, I don't think Hulk Hogan benched 550.
I somewhat believe it because I know people who don't compete in lifting who bench more than people who compete in lifting because that's all they do is bench. But
valid.
I don't know. Twice bodyweight bench isn't unbelievable. I bench twice bodyweight and I'm not that strong. So like it's not unbelievable for me. I don't know.
Yeah, either way, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior both natural as the day they were born.
That part is absolutely indisputable. 100%
indisputable. True. They really don't like selling.
No, not at all.
Both guys. And that's kind of my biggest gripe with the match is that. Aside from, and I'm willing to leave aside like both of their shtick being like periods of no selling like prior to immediately winning the match. The Hulk Hogan's knee.
Oh my god! It went from my man's gonna have to be in like a wheelchair to it's fine in like 20 seconds. What do you say it was? He relocated whatever the thing was.
He dislocated the patella and then put it back.
The hell? Temporarily dislocated the patella.
Can you dislocate your patella? It kind of like floats, right? I don't know anatomy. We shouldn't talk about that. 3 guys pretending that they know how the human body functions. Immediately somebody's be like, yeah, I dislocated my patella and it was the worst pain I ever felt. I'm shocked Hulk Hogan could stand.
Well,
I like that in my fiction they also believe he
dislocated
the patella.
No, he did though. He's show
for sure.
Dude, Warrior just straight up presses Hogan.
Yeah,
he does. It's not like the cleanest overhead press you ever seen, but he gets him up.
Also pressing a man and not a barbell, but yes.
True.
It's also if you don't press man, I'm sorry.
if you've never truly pressed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. I've seen a lot of dudes get overhead pressed. And yeah, I mean, the Hogan's helping still. But Warrior gets him up there. It's impressive.
Yeah. Hogan, of course, in natural Hogan fashion, parries the ultimate splash.
Parries the shit out of the ultimate splash, dude.
Kicks out at 2, and then fucking Hogan goes to drop the knee, the leg drop, and instead of letting Warrior kick out of his finish because he just kicked out of Warrior's, he has to miss the leg drop.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't have a problem with it if it weren't for, like, number one, doing the finish right before the Hulk up bit is like, that's okay, so that finisher did nothing. But also, weirdly, I think the Hulk up's more okay because it sometimes it seems more like a magic power Hulk Hogan has, and less like the move didn't do anything. But then, immediately after the finish, Hulk Hogan, like, thrusts out of the pin, gets up on his feet, and is, like, upset that he lost.
Yeah, he's just walking around like nothing happened.
Like, if the Warrior got to definitively beat Hulk Hogan, like, keep him down for a while, like, I wouldn't be that mad about it.
Yeah.
It would be huge. Like, that's why.
Because
even if Hogan never hit the leg drop.
Literally, Hebner, his hand touches 3, and then Hogan immediately raises the shoulder. He's like...
Yeah.
Hogan needs to make it clear that Warrior barely beat him.
Yeah.
But that is classic Hogan shtick.
Yeah.
Hogan does what Hogan will always do.
It's weirdly like the wrestling at the time was just kind of, or I guess less so at that time, but like still, it was like you don't want to be made to look weak at all. If you want to maintain a spot like Hogan's, and you know, until Hogan will do this if allowed until he can't move anymore. At least at the time. So it kind of makes sense that he's like, he still wants to be Hulk Hogan forever. And that's of course why he's gonna like, he has to make sure it's clear that, oh yeah, Hogan barely lost. Like it's not that like we talked about how it's like a kind of like a passing of the torch where it's like the Ultimate Warrior is new Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan must go because his people need him or whatever. But like,
who are his people?
The Hulkamaniacs.
The American people.
Florida. But like Hogan obviously, like, he can't have it be that. Like, they can't tell the story that it's like, yeah, Hulk Hogan was a legend, but legends are also men and therefore subject to getting like age and getting old and tired and not being what they used to be. And they didn't let this be Hogan's moment of like somebody out there is carrying on the Hulkamania legacy and they're just better. Like, he is younger, has more energy, more hair, you know,
more hair,
willing to go, like, and like the energy surpasses Hulk Hogan. But no, Hulk Hogan has to be like, I'm still right there. I'm like, still me a little bit. Like,
if it went 1 second longer, the fight would have been different.
Oh yeah.
You want to know what's crazy? Hogan's only 37 in that match.
Wait, what?
Hogan's 37 in that match.
I guess Hulk Hogan looked perpetually like 56 years old, but like, I thought I would not have guessed. He's not even 40?
Yeah.
Man.
That's a little,
that match was in 1990. He was born in 53.
Wow. That's all right. I don't know if... Am I impressed about how old Hulk Hogan looked?
I don't know.
I'm just impressed or shocked.
I'm just baffled. That's shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they also did the bit, the classic bit of Hulk Hogan won the match first.
Yeah.
But they
because
killed Earl
ref,
Hebner.
Yeah, they murdered the ref. Yeah.
Dude, his like bump, I loved that bump too, where he like hits the bottom rope and bounces off it first. It's so good.
He like fucking vibrates. Like, oh, he's actually dead. That man's spasming. He's gone.
Yeah, he got killed.
Yeah.
And then Hulk Hogan wins. And then I like Matt, you brought it up when they did the dual, like, the ref is unconscious pin spots.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you talk about it.
Hogan just goes quick 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, I won! And then Warrior hits him with a back suplex, goes for the pin, and goes 1, 2, 3. And I don't know, I just found that really funny. Like, Hogan's like, fast count it! That's it, it's over!
Yeah, it makes it like the match itself, the story is like, who can bury who the hardest? Like, the hardest. Like, who is, like, yeah, like, Hulk Hogan ultimately, I think, puts more work into burying the Ultimate Warrior. Like, I think he wins that fight. Not that Warrior is buried after this, obviously, but, like, Hogan gets that early, the ref is unconscious, but I definitely won, even if I fast counted it, victory. And then, like, no-sells Warrior's finishing move one time for the Hulk up, and then no-sells it again after he actually loses. And meanwhile, the Ultimate Warrior just very clearly beat Hulk Hogan with a belly-to-back suplex. The first... I have watched several, like, YouTube videos about, like, really early pro wrestling training. The belly-to-back suplex is, like, the first move you learn to do to another person.
Yeah.
Like, real move, past, like, chain holds and stuff. Like, You learn how to run the ropes, you learn how to bump, you learn how to do like chain holds and like rest holds and stuff, and then you do a belly to back suplex because it's just a back bump. Like
the other early one's the spine buster, but yeah. I am trained.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. Matt is technically trained. I am looking to in the future be trained.
I'm looking to get trained again in the future.
Keep an eye out down the road. I might be wrestling in your local bingo hall in the future. But yeah, I like it's just fun. It was funny to me, and especially I don't think Warrior like slow counted. It's just like Hulk Hogan definitely fast counted, and Warrior did like the actual pace that referees usually count pinfalls at in professional wrestling. Like it was by the numbers pinfall. But I guess in that context, Warrior got fall number 3. It was a 2 out of 3 falls.
It was a best 2 out of 3 falls match.
Best of 3, Warrior won.
And now, best part of the show, ratings. Andrew, you're gonna go first this time.
I'm gonna give it 2.5. I think.
Respectable. Very middle of the road.
Yeah, I watching it for the show with you guys was way more fun. And it like even the fact that the match itself is like understandably predictable based on both guys' shticks and all that, like it was more fun than the first time I watched it. I was very bored the first time I watched this match. But yeah, I still think ultimately none of Hogan's matches were that good. I'll drop that hammer right now. That's a hot take, I guess. I don't know. And the Warrior not that good a worker either. R.I.P. And so ultimately it can't be that highly rated in my book. And that on top of all the like annoying shtick about burying things and like no selling the knee injury that you put into the match for no reason. Like, I don't know. It's 2.5's the best I can do.
Yeah, for me, it's interesting. So, me and Andrew will make sure to watch these matches beforehand. 1, to make sure that they're something we want to actually show Tyler. 2, so that we remember them, so that we could guide the second half of the conversation if we need to. And we watched it a couple of days ago, and when we watched it, I said, I am not giving this match more than 2 stars. I was like, this match is going to be less than 2 stars for me. But now watching it again, and it is like the group of people you're watching it with, you know, like that sets it, I think. But I have very much changed my mind. And what originally probably would have been a 1.5 is going to be a 3.5 for me.
Wow. That's a
high.
big change. I was expecting it to crack 2 for you. I was expecting that. I wasn't expecting you to make it to 3.
Because I was thinking about like what we've rated stuff in the past. And this is the most fun I think I've had watching one of these matches for the show. Like the Savage Steamboat was obviously really good, but I don't know, I found this match to just be really fun to watch. I probably should rate it more so on the negative scale, but I'm gonna commit to 3.5. Tyler.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna give it a solid 2. Solid 2.
Oh,
it was fun.
Wow.
It was fun, but like if I was watching it by myself, I don't think I would have had fun. I don't think I would have had fun.
Valid opinion.
That's fair.
Plus the first like quarter of the match is fun, and then there's a lull, and then the last quarter is fun. But the middle for me is just a little.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then like the Hogan middle.
Yeah, and then like the pacing with all of Hogan stuff was like, oh, you know, like he has to wait till like the last second to pop out, and this and that. I don't know. I've never liked that style of how he tells the story. So it's solid 2. Wasn't bad. It was fine. That was it.
All over the board.
All over the board.
Anyway, Dave Meltzer's rating for Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, for context for everyone, was 3.75. So I was the closest to the right answer.
I think we just want to call Big Dave the right answer. The objective, correct, analytical answer in professional wrestling. Big Dave, the correct guy.
Always
3.75.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we're gonna call it on this episode of Learning the Ropes. Be back next week when we're gonna do something a little bit different with our match
change of pace.
Slight change of pace. It'll be a good one.
Be a little bit different than normal. A little foreshadowing of events to come.
Yeah. And bye.
Yeah, as always, Iron Sheik forever. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Over and out.